I'm Jason Toktajian with Armenian Sports News with Arman Tsarukyan Fight Week coverage presented by your favorite attorney, Nelson Kevorkian Esquire. We have breaking news here in Los Angeles. Arman Tsarukyan versus Islam Makhachev is off. Arman Tsarukyan reported with a back injury, did not come to the weigh-ins, which we were just at. We're poolside now, and let's jump right into this. Arman Tsarukyan not coming in, this fight being canceled, if actually not being canceled, rather he's being replaced by Renato Moicano.
Yeah, Jason, just a massive disappointment, letdown. We're here at the Intercontinental Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. The weigh-ins were between a period of 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. local time.
Yeah.
And all of the fighters weighed in. Islam Makhachev weighed in 154.5 pounds.
Yes.
And everyone was waiting for Arman. And as time went on, some rumblings started to be heard, and I was able to confirm that Arman did indeed suffer a back injury last night while he was in the final stages of his weight cut. He was working on the stationary bike. I'm told by sources that he did not have any problems making his weight cut, and just in the final stages. A lot of these fighters, they cut anywhere, 15 to 20 pounds the day before, and all of the things that I was told this week was Arman was on point, did not have any problems making weight, was never an issue. I mean, he has a nutritionist and a dietitian on his team who takes care of all that and makes sure he's in tip-top shape. It should also be known that throughout his UFC career, he's not had problems making weight. So this was unfortunately a freak injury, you could put it as, and here we are, a little bit more than 24 hours away. We have a new main event. The show goes on. Going to be a massive letdown to the Southern California community, the contingency of fans who are waiting to see Arman, his Armenian fans, and now it's audible, as they say. And we're going to have to wait and see what the future will hold for Arman Tsarukyan. Members of his camp have already put out statements saying that it just was not safe to move forward with the fight, no matter the significance and severity of the injury, big or small. It was to a point where he could not continue and give his best efforts against the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC.
And I apologize for not introducing you earlier on. Makhachev, sports journalist, a seasoned sports journalist. You have had your fair share of fights covered, whether it's through boxing or other combat sports. I mean, how uncommon is this for a fighter to pull out the day before?
Well, usually fights fall through for the fighter not being able to make weight. This was not a making weight issue, because if Arman was overweight, he would have still weighed in. Perhaps paid a fine. Not perhaps. He would have paid a fine. He would have to give a percentage of his purse to Islam, and the show goes on, and he would not be eligible to win the title. So, if, in my opinion, if this was a weight issue, he would have still made weight. He would have still tipped the scales, whatever the number would have been, and we would have had to deal with it. But considering he was not even, he did not even step on the scales. Goes to show you that it was indeed a back injury. And I was told that UFC officials were there well past into the wee hours, trying to rehabilitate, triage the injury, whatever they could do to salvage the fight, the main event fight, which was trending to be one of the biggest gates for the UFC in the last few years. And all of that is no more. And we're going to have to wait and see what the future will hold for Arman Tsarukyan. He's the number one challenger to Islam's throne. And I'm sure there's as soon as this fight against Makhachev and Moicano is over, they're going to have to figure out, when do you reschedule this fight?
Right.
Just because Arman got injured does not mean he loses his spot for a title defense. I'm sure the UFC is going to try to make this right for him as well too. It's unfortunate for all parties, unfortunate for the UFC, unfortunate for Tsarukyan, of course, for Makhachev, who now has to prepare for a new opponent in 24 hours, the number 10 ranked Brazilian who had a big year in 2024. He was set to face Beneil Dariush on the pay-per-view portion of the card, and just an entire reshuffling of the deck and on short notice.
Absolutely. I guess the only person that benefits from this is Renato Moicano. He's
Absolutely.
looking forward to this fight. This is something that you only dream of, to be able to get a title shot within 24 hours.
Absolutely. I talked to Moicano earlier this week, just as I have with all of the other fighters, and Moicano said he's an interested observer. And get this, Moicano is trained by Tsarukyan's coach.
I see.
Matt Parumpa Damata. So Damata has the game plan that he was preparing for Tsarukyan, and now he's going to pass that over to Moicano. Just intriguing series of developments here. Moicano is obviously the beneficiary of this, and it is going to be quite a show tomorrow. I'm sure the Armenian fans will still show out, just as everyone who has a ticket. I mean, good luck trying to unload your tickets at this point for the prices you bought them at. You might as well make a night out of it and enjoy the fights. But just a letdown, and the air was out of the building in the media room when we were here covering the weigh-ins. And but the show goes on for the UFC at the Intuit Dome. On pay-per-view.
Nature of news, right? Nature of news, breaking news. Got to be ready for it, huh?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, well, stay with us on Armenian Sports News for all of the latest updates on future Arman Tsarukyan fights, and obviously with UFC 311 almost here, we'll also have post-fight coverage for you.